Hi everyone, I'm Kaya with exercisesforinjuries.com. Welcome to today's video where we're going to go through some simple beginner exercises to start to build muscle. So I'm going to be using a set of dumbbells. So if you have those at home, you can use that. If not, you could use soup cans, milk jugs, water bottles, stuff like that. Or you could just leave out any equipment to start. So our first exercise is a standing bicep curl. So standing with the feet about hip distance apart, slight bend in the knees, shoulders down away from the ears. We're going to keep the elbows where they are and bring the weights up towards the shoulders and back down. So slow and steady, taking a moment to pause at the top and the bottom of the movement. Good. Next exercise is a tricep extension. So we're only using one dumbbell for this exercise. We're going to stagger our stance a little bit, stepping back with one leg, holding the top of the dumbbell overhead. And we're going to start with straight arms, lower down by bending at the elbows, keeping the elbows pointed to the ceiling, and then straighten back up, squeeze through the upper arms. So strengthening our triceps, the back of our upper arms. All right, next we have a shoulder press. So standing up, good posture again. Starting with the elbows at 90 degrees, we'll press up and come back down to 90. So not coming any lower than 90. We want to keep the muscles working the entire time, working out our shoulders. All right, coming down to the floor for number 4, we're going to do a chest press. So lying down, feet firmly planted on the floor. Bringing those dumbbells, starting with elbows at 90 again, we'll press up and come down to 90. Not letting the arms come all the way down to the floor. Working our chest here. And again, that slight pause at the top and bottom of each movement. Next, we have a seated row. So we're going to come up to a seat. And if it's not comfortable to sit on the floor, you could do this from a chair. You're going to take one arm out in front, parallel with the floor, bring that elbow back behind us, squeeze, and come back. So we're squeezing our shoulder blade back towards the center of our spine. Then we'd switch. And if you want to make it a little bit more difficult, you could do both arms at once. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. All right, next is a classic crunch, so no need for any equipment for this one. Coming to lie down, hands come behind the head, but we're not going to press our head forward. We want to do all the work from our core. Feet planted on the ground. We're going to think about lifting our chest up towards the ceiling as we come up. Trying to keep your feet on the floor, but it's okay if they bounce up a little bit, and lower back down. So slow and steady here. Taking your time. The less we rely on momentum, the more we'll work out our core. All right, next we have a plank. So coming onto our front, we're going to bring the elbows underneath the shoulders, hands plant on the ground. If this isn't comfortable, feel free to clasp the hands in front. Roll the shoulders back. Now, first option is to do this from the knees, straight line from the knees to the crown of the head. To make it more difficult, up onto the toes. So ankle stack over the toes. We're pulling our belly button up towards our spine, shoulders down from the ears, pressing into the floor. We want to keep a neutral spine and hold. All right, coming back up to stand for our next exercise, we have a squat. Optional dumbbells here. Feet are going to be about hip distance apart, which is only about a fist and a half for a classic squat. Sitting the bum back really far behind you, keeping the knees behind the toes, coming down to that point where you can keep your chest up and your knees behind the toes. Squeeze your bum as you come up and that's 1 repetition. Holding the dumbbells wherever is comfortable, maybe up at shoulder height, or you could hold 1 dumbbell with both hands. Good. Next we have lunges, again optional dumbbells. Starting with our feet together, we'll step back with 1 foot, lowering down almost so that knees to the ground, front knees on top of the front ankle, and step back. So we don't want that front knee going past the ankle. And then once you finish your repetitions on one side, moving on to the other side with the same thing. Good. Our last exercise is a hamstring curl. So you could use a wall or the back of a chair for this. To add weight, you'll need like an ankle weight or use a resistance band. And all we're doing, slight bend in the knees here, engage your core and pull your heel up towards your glutes, back down. And then switch. So we're working up the muscles here on the back of the thigh. All right, so that brings us to the end of these exercises to help you build muscle. Depending on what kind of workout you're doing, your fitness level, the amount of weight you're using, it'll change up how many sets and reps you do. So make it your own, do what you can do, and stay safe. So thank you for joining me. I'll see you all in another video. Bye.